Time for rock news on 101.1 WJRR, Orlando's rock station. Let's check in with Lynch and Taco and see which rockers are making the headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. 101.1 WJRR.
All right, hey, before we get into the rock news, reminder, you get about another 30 minutes or so to enter this hour's Rock the Bank $1,000 cash keyword at WJRR.com. That's where you're putting those in. Keyword this hour?
Ironically, it's cash. CASH. Enter that. WJRR.com. And if your phone rings next hour, even if you think it might be a junk call, just answer it. If it's junk, you hang up. But if it's $1,000 and you don't answer, they're moving on up to the top, to the next person.
And remember, there'll be 12 more chances to follow, so it would behoove you to have this radio station on all day, if possible, where you work.
We appreciate it, too.
And if not, strangle the ever-living S out of your boss until they let you put it on.
Okay, don't do that.
In a loving kind of way. Mm-hmm. Seeing as we just heard from Creed, should probably start there. The Summer of 99 tour. We had a feeling this might happen after the Summer of 99 cruises were announced, including the one out of Port Canaveral in April. The 40-city trek will be across North America starting July, summer of 2024, and in all sorts of places, including 3 stops in the state of Florida. They will be playing Tampa, West Palm Beach, and Jacksonville. I'm assuming we're getting bypassed here because of the cruise.
Remember what I was telling you? That I saw Tremonti and Phillips and all the guys at Depeche Mode. Mm-hmm. Or, I'm sorry, Depeche Mode the other night at that show.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, stoked for you guys. Pat and I were talking about in the air saying that it'd be great if you guys did a huge tour. And he kind of gave me that look like, kind of like, the look I'm talking about.
Obviously, they listen to this show and just take notes and act.
Oh, that's what it was,
on anything and everything we throw out there.
Mark just picked up his cell and said, hey, Stapp, listen, here's what we got going on. Lynch and Taco.
3 Doors Down will be direct support for most of the tour. Daughtry, Switchfoot, Tonic, and Big Wreck will also be in the mix. And Finger 11 will open all of the shows.
That's cool.
On Thursday, we're going to have an incredible moment in pop culture as it pertains to music. And it involves the Beatles.
Oh, yeah, this is like huge.
Ahead of what's going to happen Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, tomorrow there will be a short documentary released, which I got to see on Friday. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's really, really good. And it explains what you're going to be hearing on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. The completed final Beatles song called Now and Then, which started off as a John Lennon composition. This is after the Beatles. Lennon was spending most of his time at home with his wife and raising their Sean as, a young child. And he was away from music as a band, but he was still producing music. And this composition was something he came up with and put on a cassette tape. Mm-hmm. And it's really good. In 1994, Yoko Ono gave that to the surviving Beatles, and they had the mission of trying to complete the song.
Which I think I got to give, even though we all dog on Yoko, you got to give her credit for that.
Sure. And they do. The problem was, technology-wise, they weren't able to sufficiently separate Lennon's vocals from the piano parts to pull those out separately and clean them up. So when in the final mix, when the other Beatles went in and recorded their parts, and you put it all together, you want it to sound as good as possible and be representative of the quality that the Beatles would put out.
Yeah.
So years and years went by, and then new technology involving artificial intelligence, Taco, has since made it possible, and the song is now complete. And every single one of our iHeart radio stations nationwide, Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, will simultaneously debut this.
Which is crazy if you think about it, on all the top 40 stations.
Everything. Country. So that's what'll be happening. And I would encourage you tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll put the link on our website. When you see the short documentary, watch that So you're kind of fully up to speed. The song has kind of been out there in the unfinished form, but this will be the first time we get to hear it to completion.
Mixed and
Yeah, Thursday morning at 10. What else do we got here?
Where can they get the movie thing, just to refresh them?
It's a documentary that'll be released online tomorrow.
Got it.
The Who celebrating 50th anniversary of the Who's second rock opera, Quadrophenia. And they're also putting that out on a very limited edition vinyl situation. Those of you who collect vinyl, this may be one you want to get your hands on. They're also going to be putting out the Who by numbers. Both of these on 180-gram vinyl, half-speed masters. Those of you who collect vinyl know that's cool. I'd be able to get those coming up in February. Ace Frehley, former Kiss guitarist. There's no love lost between him and Paul Stanley. Listen to this. Ace claims that his new album will make Paul Stanley look, quote, like an imbecile. Paul and Gene have pretty much tried to destroy my credibility by calling me a drunk and a drug addict and somebody who's not dependable. This says Frehley. The rocker says that, he's reminding fans that he's made 5 albums since he relaunched his career in 2009. Has another one on the way. Not a lot of details on this, except that the final version is scheduled to be turned into his label, which he's already done now at this point. And he says it's the best album I've ever done to date, and when it drops, going to make Stan Lee look like an imbecile. I don't know.
I think if you have to remind people that you put out 5 albums.
Ace, if it's good, it'll stand on its own merit. Exactly, Taco. Mm-hmm. Seven Nation Army has been rated as the top workout song.
Boom, 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 boom.
Folks who get workout playlists, I guess that one shows up in number 1 the most.
Metallica's in there, too. I guarantee it.
Nope.
Not at all?
Not in the top 10.
Wow.
It's My Life from Bon Jovi is 2. Welcome to the Jungle. Smells Like Teen Spirit. In the End. Thunderstruck. Paradise City.
Hold on. Let us digest them. In the End. Thunderstruck, of course.
Paradise City.
Yeah.
Numb/Encore. Jay-Z and Linkin Park. Unstoppable. The Score. And then Highway to Hell from AC/DC.
I can't believe Eye of the Tiger's not on there.
Dun, 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 dun. And finally, in the spirit of Halloween, please go to the WJRR Facebook page or Lynch and Taco blog at WJRR.com and take a behind-the-scenes look at this year's Philip Anselmo Haunted House. He is way, way into Halloween. He's done this haunted house for years. It gets crazier and crazier every year, and he takes you on a behind-the-scenes deal as they set that thing up this year.
That's great.
It's really, really cool. There you go. Your rock news.
Lynch and Taco on demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.